Welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys for hanging with me on this Thursday. So when you go into a Bass Pro Shops or maybe an academy, you can't walk by their store brand fishing lures without at least checking them out, because you may walk by one of the greatest fishing lures that was ever invented. This is a Bass Pro Shops XPS swim bait that I bought in 2009. They shortly discontinued this right after that, and I really didn't know what I had until I saw it win a Bassmaster Elite tournament in 2011. But you could give this swim bait a lot of credit for where we are 15 years later when it comes to the big eyes, the buoyant plastic, the subtle tail action. It's really shown us a lot about times a year that we need to be throwing it and how it is such an important bait when it comes to bass fishing, basically any place in the country. And this bait was maybe designed by accident. It was on the forefront of the swim bait craze, and I think you have to really put it in there as one of the greatest swim baits ever invented. And it was definitely one of the most affordable swim baits ever invented, because I think I bought that one for like $1.99. But I'm going to explain to you how this happens, why there are such great fishing lures that are on the shelves underneath those Bass Pro Shop brands or Academy brands that don't get the credit that they deserve, and then maybe don't buy everything in the store, because they're not all going to be the greatest fishing lure of all time. I'm also going to dive into that as well on today's show. Thank you guys for subscribing to the channel. That helps me out a lot. If you haven't yet liked this video, leave me a comment, because I think we've all wondered, does that bait catch as many fish as the bait that it looks like that costs 3 times as much? So when it comes to what you're going to find on the shelves with the Bass Pro Shops brand or the Academy brand, H2O's Academy, Bass Pro Shops is XPS, you have 2 categories. You have the originals, baits that they came up with themselves, and for whatever reason, luck or whatever, they have made some of the greatest baits of all time. The other side is going to be reference design. So those are OEMs, original equipment manufacturers, reference design. So these are things that they bought, designs of fishing lures from other companies. And there are companies out there that have selling them around. Basically what you're going to get is a design that you know is going to catch fish and also sell in your store. So they're going to fill up all of their scope with some of those baits. That's why I think it's important to realize that not every one of these baits is going to be world class. You're going to get some in there that aren't as good as the premium brands, so you got to be careful. But for a $3 bag of soft plastics, $4 bag, or a $4 box of hard baits rather, $5 spinner bait, maybe it is worth it to take a chance. Now, the reason they don't get the attention that they deserve is your most influential fishermen that are making the videos are typically sponsored by these industry giant companies like Berkley or Strike King that are the premium brands, and across the board are going to be more consistently good fishing lures. I don't think anyone argue with Strike King's line of hard baits, Berkley's line of soft plastics. Across the board are going to be better than what you're going to find under that H2O or XPS logo. But with saying that, there are a lot of sleepers, a lot of really good baits that don't get any attention because you don't have those fishermen talking about them, because they're sponsored by Bass Pro Shops. They're not sponsored by every brand that Bass Pro Shops has. They're sponsored by Academy. They're not sponsored by Academy's hard bait selection. So they don't ever talk about them. I promise you this right now, they do use them. Again, guys, this is one of the greatest swim baits ever invented, and they stopped making it. A couple of companies are trying to make one similar to it. So if you do try those baits out, if you are in any of those big box retailers, give those baits a shot. For $3, $4, $5, they are worth the money, and they flat out catch them. Not going to say that they're the greatest baits of all time like this, but there's no doubt that some of those baits could be. I'm a big fan of H2O's hard baits. They're prop baits, they're lipless crankbaits, they're square bills. If you want to spend $5 and get a really good bait, try those. Bass Pro Shops makes all kinds of great stuff as well. So try that, guys. Good luck to you, and I'll see you on the water.